When we are taught to name our dreams, we are told to choose something that reflects not where we are, but where we're going. Before the blueprints, before the branches, there was breath. A man once exhaled a future so vast the sky had to rearrange itself to make room. He wasn't chasing the sun, he was asking it to pause, and somewhere between silence and signature an altitude was born. Not to escape the ground, but to prove that the sky was not reserved for the already crowned. They say Abraham called nations with his faith, that he called things that weren't as though they were. So when a man in Lagos chose the word zenith, he wasn't naming a business, he was naming a covenant. 35 years ago, in 1990, with 20 million naira, a man dared to imagine an African institution that will not only survive but define the standard. They now call him. But we know that he is the cartographer of confidence, because titles don't capture tenderness. They don't show the man who believed structure could serve the soul, who treated service like sculpture, chiseling away ego until only excellence remained. The man who drew a continent's dream in ink. He didn't build a bank. What he really built was permission for the African child to believe that excellence is not foreign, that the peak is possible, that we too can build what lasts. And even our president once called him a wise man, and rightly so. For what is wisdom if not the unflinching vision to plant an Iroko where others only saw soil? They say this Iroko tree does not bend, but look closer. Its roots are full of stories of people who never left because they found home where others found work, of women who no longer had to ask for space because someone became the space. And when she walks into a room, she carries the weight of first female GMD, first proof that leadership can be soft-spoken and seismic. And we know to be a woman at the peak is to carry centuries of silence on your shoulders and still rise without shouting. It is to wear your name like a promise and to lead not in spite of softness, but because of it. Zenith is always more than height. It is proof that the summit has space for every voice once told it was too tender to lead. And this place, this garden of roots and branches, it has raised Daniels for the lion's den of policy. It has trained Esthers for boardroom banquets and lit lamps for lost cities. Zenith has always known to reach the peak, you must first lift others. And that power isn't what you hold, but who you hold open the door for. This is the place where leaders were mentored before the world called them your excellency. Some say Midas turned things to gold, but Jim Ovia, he turned belief into structure. And today we know that ambition when rooted in service is grace and not greed. And so here is to the Godfather who dared, who saw soil and named it sky, to the Iroko tree that held its ground, even when the winds changed its language, to the woman who now leads like a lighthouse, not blinking, not bending, just blazing, to the staff who stayed, not out of duty, but because purpose became home. A mirror held to the continent, asking, what will you build that outlives you? To every dreamer out there, may you not just chase the peak, may you become the ground it stands on. May you not just climb, may you build and become the mountain.
Walk with me,